Hi, welcome back to week 3. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks together already. Let's just kind of backtrack and talk about where we've been for a minute. So, we started out talking about our getting out of our comfort zone and just going for it and this whole success journey that we go through. And the success journey, it looks like we get comfortable with where we are, which ultimately leads us to being uncomfortable. So we decide to make that jump or make that decision to jump and go for it. And then that's like a fun honeymoon phase. And then we hit our first sign of struggle and have our first setback, or we get not really motivated, or we feel like we it's taking longer than we thought. And so with there, we either sit back in what was comfortable or we push forward into success. And last week we talked about confidence and how confidence affects how we walk through this process together. And so this week we're going to talk about our mindset and how our mindset affects how we go through this process. A few months ago, I was obsessed with studying the life of J.K. Rowling. And if you don't know who that is, it's the author of Harry Potter. And I love her story. I mean, she's super inspiring. She always knew she wanted to write novels, but her parents forced her to go to college and get a job. And then she ended up having, being broke, getting divorced, being a single mom. And she says, rock bottom was a solid foundation on which I built my life on. And she talks about how when she was left with nothing, she resorted back to the only thing that she knew that she wanted to do, which is write stories or write novels. And along came Harry Potter, which went on to be rejected 12 times. And I always love reading success stories like that because often we see where they're finishing, we see their finished product, but we don't see what it took for them to get there. And so seeing success stories like that always gives me some type of hope, you know. But at that same time, I was studying her, and I met this woman who we were talking, and we exchanged names, and I told her my name was Sam, and she was like, oh, I'll remember that. I write my own stories. And I'm thinking, oh my God, she's going to tell me like a success story. This is so cool. And because I was just studying J.K. Rowling, and she was like, yeah, my professor in college told me that I should continue to write stories, but, you know, life happened, time goes on, and you have to go and get a real job. And I looked at her and I'm like it was, I still remember how I felt. I felt so sorry for her because that was her mindset, that she couldn't make it by doing her dream. She couldn't go after what she wanted to do because she had to sit back and get a real job. And so it kind of hit me in the face. Like I was visually looking at an example of somebody who goes for it and someone who doesn't. And it's not like J.K. Rowling had it all together. I mean, she was at rock bottom. And then there was this woman who probably had a better start, or would have, if you want to call it an easier start. And she just chose to not do it because her mindset. And your mindset, it's literally so key in what you're doing because it's going to be the thing that either makes you or breaks you. Do you ever hear the quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right? That falls back to your mindset. Because really, whatever you think you can do, you'll eventually do. And if you think you can't, you won't do it. So let's dive into what your mindset actually is and how it affects what you do. So basically, your mindset is literally the way that your mind is set. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind it's responsible for our memories, our habits, and our belief system. And our conscious mind is responsible for our thoughts and our awareness and our what we say to people. We're consciously saying stuff. And the difference between the two is that our subconscious mind they're always communicating to each other, but the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what thoughts are real and what thoughts are false. For example, If you wake up and you have a horrible nightmare and you're scared from it, or you're upset about a dream that you had, or whatever it might be, and you actually feel like you were there and it was real, that's because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between that being a dream and that being real life. So what happens is we react to it, whether like it was actually happening or like it was real. So how this works for your thoughts is your subconscious mind is responsible for matching the emotion to your thoughts that you're telling yourself or that you're saying. So if you're telling yourself positive thoughts, positive things, if you speak positively, or you think positively, or you're looking for the good in a situation, your subconscious mind is going to back those thoughts up with emotion that matches it, and it's going to look for more of that. Because it doesn't know if that thought that you told it is real or not. So if you have negative thoughts and you're thinking negatively and you're looking for the bad, your subconscious mind is going to match those thoughts with the same emotions as the thought and look for more of that. That's why when you go car shopping, you see that car all over the road more and more because you're aware of it. Your mind is focused on it. It's not that those cars weren't there before, you're just more focused on it. Your subconscious mind will open up whatever you're thinking about and give you more opportunities and make you see more of that. And this is why it's important to realize that your thoughts are things. And what you think consistently, your thoughts that dominate your subconscious mind, what you're focusing on is going to dominate your subconscious mind, and you're ultimately going to manifest that into your reality. So what you think, you become. What you think, you become. So if you're sitting there telling yourself, I'm not a good leader. I'm not a good leader. I'm just not really good at leading. Your subconscious mind is going to match that and show you and open you up to more reasons why you're not a good leader. But if you say, I am a strong leader, your subconscious mind will match that and present you with more opportunities and more positive situations that will help you feel or strengthen as a good leader. So how can you utilize this in your business in order to move you forward and make it better? Let me tell you. So the thing is, we don't just walk around with an awareness that we're saying like, I'm a horrible leader, or I'm never gonna succeed. I'm just gonna quit. We're not always aware of these thoughts that are running through our head, and we're not always aware of the limiting belief that we're operating out of. But if you can become aware of what you're thinking and the thoughts that you're telling yourself, then you can switch that. You can take control of the thoughts that you're telling yourself and make it stop. Make that little chatterbox in your voice stop. And this is why personal development is so important daily, because what you fill your cup with is ultimately going to come out. How you show up for yourself behind the scenes is ultimately how you're going to show up for other people. So make sure you are taking the time daily to set your mind right, invest in your thoughts, invest in your mind, invest in yourself, and fill your cup up so that whenever you go through situations, whenever you're talking to people, whenever you're doing anything, you have the belief system of limitless possibilities, and you look at everything through the lens of positivity and the lens of possibility. Because you're going to go through stuff. It's going to be sticky. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But what you believe, you become. So what you ultimately think is going to manifest into your reality. And this is why two different people can watch the same movie and have a different input. This is why two different people can succeed given the same, or two different people can either succeed and fail given the same opportunity. This is why two different people can look at the same picture and see two different things. Your mindset is everything, everything. Become really clear and aware of the story that you're telling yourself and the beliefs and values that are running your life, and then that's when you can take back control, take ownership of your life, and ultimately create your life and ultimately tap into your potential. Because it's impossible to live a positive life if you have a negative mindset or if you have negative thoughts. So every day, think about your goals, think about what you want, who you want to be, who you want to become, and write that every single day. Write down, I am blank. And who you say you are after I am is ultimately who you're going to become. Whether that's you saying, I am bold, I am an amazing leader, I am strong, I am independent, I am successful, I am beautiful, I am enough. Whatever it is, whoever you want to become more of, tell yourself that every single day until you can convince yourself that you are that person, and your subconscious mind will ultimately start operating out of that belief system that you are that person. Look at your goals every single morning, and your subconscious mind will look through the lens of you achieving that goal and open up new opportunities and new possibilities that you just can't see right now. The reason why, the way that this kind of changed my life is when I used to think that for the longest time that there was only a certain level of success that I could achieve because I didn't go to college. Because whenever I would tell people I didn't go to college, I told you guys, they would be like, oh, I'm sorry, you can always choose to go back. It made me feel like such a failure. And these constant thoughts, where I wasn't aware of it, made me operate out of a system and only look at and only see opportunities that I could achieve without a college degree in a corporation. Or it made me only think that I could achieve a certain level of success. And I operated and only saw things out of this belief. And then once I got really into personal development and started changing the way I was talking, changed the way I was thinking, that's when I opened my mindset up. My perspective was that college, not going to college, not having a degree is not a limitation in my life. I can create anything I want. The education on anything I want is already out there. What I want, what you want, is already out there. It's just up to you to step into it. When you think that there is nothing in your way and nothing stopping you, that's what happens. There's nothing in your way, there's nothing that can stop you. Change your thoughts, change your story, and that's whenever you will change your life. Because ultimately, you become what you believe. So I want you to really just start paying attention, try to become aware of these limiting beliefs that you are operating out of, and realize that you have the ability to write a new story for yourself. You can create your future. You can create the best version of you, but you have to create, I am blank. Who do you need to become more of? More bold, more confident, more decisive, whatever it is, more disciplined. You are that person. You just need to change your belief system into believing that you are that person. And that's when you take back control of yourself and are able to tap into your potential.